Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. First of all, thanks to my Acharya, because of whom every nice thing is possible for me. Namaskaram. My name is Maruti. I am a senior software development manager in Siemens, Pune. I took this Nirman 7 days transformation program last week and I was asked to provide my feedback. I've been a Hatha Yoga practitioner for past 10 years or so. So I was asked to provide my experience with yoga in general and my practice and how I found this particular program different or what were its striking features that I experienced. So with these many years, I have developed certain sense of sensitivity with which I could better experience the Nirman program, though it was just for a week. That is the key thing that I would want to cover. So I was doing different kinds of physical exercises for maybe past 15 years or so. But I was taught Surya Namaskar by my colleague in office, Ravi. And he learned it from Baba Ramdev school. So I'm first of all thankful to that school and my colleague because Surya Namaskar was a revelation. It's totally different than any, kind of exercise, physical exercise that people do. They don't realize it, right? So it's basically all the pranas in you. I mean, they're immensely benefited by it. It has physical exercise to it, mental, everything to it, all sorts of back bends, forward bends to it. So I do 72 Surya Namaskars on days when I just do Surya Namaskars. I'm a big fan of it. I also undertook the registered for the Surya Kriya program by Isha Yoga, but I couldn't take it. Maybe in future, for sure. But the postures look similar to that, what I've been doing. And on the days that I don't do Surya Namaskar and do other forms of exercise or yoga, I at least manage to do 24 Surya Namaskars, one for each hour of that day. So I took to yoga or exercise because I wanted to look beautiful, attractive, wanted to look young for many years, preserve how I look, right? All of those things. But as you start doing it, you realize that it's far more higher than, with experience, you realize that it's far more higher than what you undertook it for. Initially, you see people doing advanced postures. You want to develop that kind of a flexibility and think that, wow, that is what, that show off is the thing. I'm still at that same level. But, right, yoga, Hatha Yoga especially, balances energies in you. It tries to remove the Vata, Pitta and Kapha doshas. And when the doshas or the diseases in your body start going away, then you will realize that your mind starts functioning better or you gain more control over your body and mind, is what I would say. It's like I had a disease, right? And I cannot eat. Even the medicine that I have to consume to cure that disease, I develop a reaction towards that because my body is not cooperating in its current condition. But when slowly I start balancing these things within me, the energies in me, the Vata, Pitta and Kapha, and the other elements in my body, right, then my body becomes receptible for the right kind of food, the right kind of aushad, medicine. And then that cyclic thing is broken, that that I am diseased, I cannot eat this, I cannot eat this, my disease won't get cured. That's where yoga comes in and breaks that cycle, right? I'm only talking about the physical cycle. Yoga is supposed to break bigger cycles of birth and death, right? It is similar. We can extrapolate it. So at least I could experience to some extent that it kept my body in a very good condition, that now it's receptible to good thoughts, right? Good food. It understands the importance of good food, good thoughts. And it has provided a certain kind of balance in my life and in my body, right? And then now I started realizing that as you develop things like alignment, right? Importance about alignment in a posture. Initially, you just do the posture. Then you know how to go into the posture and how to get back out of that posture in the same way as my gurus have taught me from the BKS Iyengar school. You develop that sense of focus, and then you realize the importance of the three things: body, mind, and breath working in tandem and assisting you in doing your yoga. Then at the next stage, you start realizing that, okay, I'm in this posture and this is being aided by the proper intake and inhalation and exhalation, the breath that I'm taking, that's helping posture. Then you realize that the posture is later on helping the breath. You start realizing the patterns of the breath within your body. In each posture, you can really understand how the posture is affecting different areas of your body. One example I'll give you is I stretched my lower back a bit during one of the Surya Namaskar sessions. Maybe I was trying to do it fast. Then the other day, I was taught in the class that the Sutta Padangushtasana 2, wherein one leg is straight and the other leg is to the right. And then I was doing Kapalbhati in that posture, Kapalbhati. Then I could feel when I was doing that forcible exhalation that it went and hit that same area of my lower back, right side, which was, that muscle was a little stretched. So you can start understanding the breathing patterns, where they're affecting you, develop that sensitivity slowly. And then you inhale and exhale into these areas which are being affected by that particular posture. It's very important that you develop it. It comes with time. And then you start enjoying yoga as you develop these sensitivities, right? And it is known, just like I told, that things like back bends, for example, they alleviate depression, right? Any form of yoga for that matter, because maybe they're releasing certain kinds of hormones like adrenaline, right? So that is temporary. But yoga is also, as my gurus have taught me, and I have started to experience a bit of it, it develops different circuits, right? It works on your nervous system. It tries to stimulate your sympathetic nervous system, and then post that exercise, when you try to do the restful postures, right, the parasympathetic nervous system, which is basically supposed to repair your body, and that takes in. So it's affecting both the nervous systems, the one that's fighting for you and the one that is relaxing you and repairing your body and the muscles and other things. So then, because of this, maybe the various circuits that are building up, because the way you're stimulating your nervous system daily, it has an effect on your mind. It tries to reduce the depression. Now I'm talking about the mental level that you are going through, or the aggravations that you are experiencing daily. Now the key thing here is, that is why I enjoy my yoga, right? Those 2 hours that I do, I really, really, really enjoy my yoga. I don't want to get out of that time, because there I am totally to myself, not getting aggravated, happy in that state, not being affected by anything, no depression. Now then you start thinking that that you might want to take the same thing. You don't want, you're selfish, right? At the end of the day, I'm selfish, right? I don't want to get aggravated throughout the day. I want to take the same peaceful state of me throughout the day. That is what I'll start thinking about. How? Because I can't keep doing yoga or meditation throughout the day. I have things to handle, right? So how do I do it, right? Throughout the day, I want to somehow be in the same state that I experienced, this bliss that I experienced during this period, even if I was doing heavy exercise or postures that make me sweat, perspirate, but still in that pose, I'm experiencing bliss. Sometimes I put calming music when I'm doing tough postures that make me perspirate, and if I have to hold them for, let's say, a minute or 90 seconds or 2 minutes, right? So you don't want to get out of that focused and that calmness that you experience during yoga, right? And that is where you start thinking, what are the triggers, right, that take me out of this state, right? So mentally, you want to be stable. Emotionally, you want to avoid these triggers. Yoga helps you start, at least in my case, I started identifying those triggers. Why? Because one thing I don't want to get out of this, maybe yoga is also helping me through the different circuits it's building in me. It's working on me in ways that I don't know yet. That, hey, this is something that is going to affect me. Many a times today I experience that when I'm going through something, when I've succumbed to a trigger, that's when I know I've succumbed to it. I lost the peace of my mind. I'm getting angry or sad, right? But at least when I'm in that state, I'm able to identify that and try to say to myself that, okay, come out of this, right? Get back to that state where you were in when you were doing yoga. You're not getting affected by anything outside. You're all to yourself, right? So So many a times what happens is people undergo that, they succumb to it, and after that thing has passed, they realize, oh, I failed again, right? That happens to me even today. At work, maybe somebody aggravated me, somebody insulted me, some of my solutions didn't work on that particular day, maybe, right? Maybe some other day I'm very overjoyed because people appreciated me, right, for the success that I produced in work, even in relationships, right? Someday people were talking very nice about me, they were with me. Some days they said, no, we don't like you, right? So many a times when this trigger happened and it passed, you realize that, oh, I should have handled it better. But today, many a times I'm trying to see better. When I'm going through that state, I'm trying to bring myself back into an equanimity state, saying that, hey, I want to experience the bliss that I experienced in those 2 hours again and again. So emotionally, I can say a little bit, there is a betterment in my life. This is, at least if I can achieve this much and I'm at peace, that's great, right? And so this proper hormone functioning perhaps within us, that is kind of curing the ailments and all, and this the stability that yoga is providing me is helping me in my day-to-day emotional uh, uh, reactions to things that are happening around, right? I've made certain points, so I'm just looking at what I should speak so that I don't speak anything and everything. And then at work, right? Since you want to kind of carry the same happiness that you experienced during your yoga practice, the focus that you experienced it into work, you suddenly start enjoying work. Right? I've been a guy, I developed thyroid, sinusitis maybe due to depression, due to events in my life. Thyroid because of, I've always been a topper. I've always tried to give my best to the things, but I was always stressed out. So if I am stressed out, then people around me will be automatically stressed out. My team who's working with me, people with me, right? Friends, right? Everyone, right? Relationships, right? They're all stressed out, right? Now, how can I better it, right? So I want to be in this state. I don't want to get out of this state, is what I'm telling myself the remaining 22 hours of the day, except for the sleeping hours, of course, right? So since I'm trying to bring in that same focus and enjoyment from the yoga, the time that I do my yoga, right, into the work, I've started to enjoy my work better, right? Obviously, it is giving me better focus, and because of which I'm able to solve things better. I'm able to prioritize things better. I'm able to tell me whenever I'm getting agitated, saying, "Oh, so many things to do in this day." Somebody else is pinging me on something else when I'm thinking of something else to solve something else. I tell myself, let me prioritize. Let me not get out of this particular peaceful state as much as possible, right? So the Nirman guys have told me that do this sequence twice a day. So obviously you will lose that state of focus, though you're trying to tell yourself, right? So it's better to do it twice a day, the meditation and these practices, so that you again get back yourself into that focus state that you are lost through the day, and have a better sleep at night. Yoga always, it also helps good sleep, is what I heard, and trying to do that. And so at work, if you are able to enjoy your work, though there's a lot of work that you are doing, maybe you will start inspiring people by the kinds of results that you start automatically producing, with a better state of mind, in a relaxed state of mind. So people will say, hey, if you can do, I can also do it without stressing myself out. So results will happen while we are not trying to attach. You enjoy the path, like you are enjoying yoga. And today I enjoy yoga. I don't kind of think of many a times the end results, right? Wow, this is so nice. If I'm doing 12 standing postures that are really tough, I can really feel my body light, the muscles nicely stretched out the whole 24 hours. So I'm doing it, and the results are happening, but when I'm doing it, I'm enjoying it. Similarly, when I'm doing my work, I've started enjoying my work, right? And when people see me do that, maybe they will also take that up. So relationships, again, that is always a tough thing. There are certain people that you like, you want to be with, certain people who just you hate for whatever reason, right? You don't want to listen to even them. You start developing things that, oh, this guy is somehow trying to affect my, he's jealous of me, right? But the truth is, maybe Not everyone has that kind of a time for you, right? So again, when you tell yourself that I don't want to aggravate myself and get myself out of this peaceful state that I experienced, maybe you will start ignoring certain things about certain people whom you don't like. Maybe you will start to accept things when people whom you really love, cannot treat you in the same way for whatever reason. Uh, yes, you try to control that craving, and then you say, if I am trying to be craving for something, or if I am getting agitated by someone else whom I don't like, I'm spoiling my equilibrium. Let me not do that. What can I do? Ignore people who try to disturb you. And when you start ignoring and not reacting to that, then obviously they will realize, and that might reduce a bit from their end too. And they will also perhaps appreciate you. And when people whom you like cannot react in the ways that you want them to, then maybe it's better to leave it for that period of time. Just focus on what is working for you. Try to be a better person, because in this moment, whatever is working, let it work. Whatever is not working for you, let's hope it works in future. And you try to kind of control that particular thing, right? So that's about it. And in this context, now I'll talk about Nirman. This has been my experience with yoga till now, and now I'll talk about this Nirman program, right? So Nirman program, what is the sequence, right? Anybody who has undertaken that will know that the sequence is basically, you start with arm movements, right? You have to stress your muscles, like you are in Tadasana, right? You have to compress your muscles, and then do outward movements with exhalation, inward movements with inhalation. There are different kinds of arm movements that you do: forward, backward, up and down. Neck movements that are very relaxing for the neck, followed by Yoga Namaskar, a new thing that I learned. Nadi Shodhan, which is a pranayam technique. Meditation for 5 to 10 minutes with a thought and with music and with a prayer. And then Simha Kriya. Simha Kriya I've been doing regularly. It actually helps remove the toxins that cause tonsillitis and other things. The inversions that I do in yoga, like Shirshasana, they also help with this. So when I started with this Nirman program, I thought, okay, this seems pretty simple. But I knew, even in the yoga that we have been learning, right, from the BKS Anchor School, there is activity on some days and there are restful postures on some days. Initially, we used to make fun of the restful postures, but then you realize that you really look forward to the restful postures post your activity, right? You heat your body up and then you cool it down. And then there is the age factor, right? Not people who are maybe above 80 years and all, they really can't do all these active yoga postures. Then I realized this particular sequence seems to be very good, very well tuned for people of all ages, right? It's very effective. You can build your muscles with the arm movements. If you're looking at physicality, right? You're building, there is a physicality involved to that also. And you're developing a sense of kind of ushna, heat, as has been told in the program. So my instructor for this, trainer for this program was Pushpangi, a friend of mine. So I'm really thankful to her for suggesting me to undergo this particular program. So yes, on the physical level also, they are very effective. The neck movements give you the relaxation. I have a bad upper and lower conditions. So sometimes they aggravate because of the postures that I have been at work for maybe 30 years before I undertook yoga. So those effects are there. So they are better maintained now because of the yoga that I do. So age is one thing. Very old people can also do this, right? And you need to learn sometime, because you're not this body. Someday you need to learn. Maybe I'll learn after 80 years that you cannot do always activity, too much of activity in yoga. Somewhere you need to cool down and reduce the intensity. And as I said, simple postures also, you'll realize after some time that it's not the advanced postures, but just doing the simple postures perfectly to the alignment, to the right breath and to the right focus for more time gives you immense benefits, and they are far more effective than the so-called advanced postures. And sometimes if you especially cannot do them correctly. If you can do them correctly, you develop the flexibility, very good for you, right? So, but someday you need to learn that. And sometimes, let's say I am doing a lot of active postures and all, but some days I am not well. So I should then still continue this practice. So knowing some postures and some sequences that are really beneficial, which I can do even when I'm not well, that's great. So that's what Nirman has given me. And there are many advanced classes even in Isha Yoga that I heard of, like Angamardana and all, which definitely I would want to see. The posture seems similar to what I've been doing, but definitely, right? Initially, I thought, why should I learn from a different school? I'm already learning from a very renowned school. Then there's no harm, right? You should be open to things, and that's when you will learn more. If you are really a real seeker, then you will be open to things, right? So I then thought, yes, why not attend this thing? I'm at home during this period. Why not learn a new sequence and try to inculcate that also in the process that I'm working on, right? Try to take what is best from each thing and try to understand with your experience, well, self-experience, swadhyaya, what is best for you, and take that, filter it, and use it for yourself. Then this Yoga Namaskar, initially I thought it seems simple compared to the Surya Namaskar that I've been doing, which is part of the Nirman program, but it's so effective, I tell you. When I started this event, I had a very bad neck condition. Maybe I aggravated during my sleep. I stopped doing my Shirshasana and all for a week before that, so I could not do the neck movements. But when I started doing this Yoga Namaskar, like you press your hands up, take them up slowly, and then especially when you take them back here, it really relaxes your back, and you take them forward too, right? So amazing sequence that I learned. Thankful that I could learn it, and I'm regularly practicing Yoga Namaskar. I look forward to doing it. It gives you a real good upper and lower back. And because of the sensitivities that I have developed over these years, I can tell you that I could already feel the benefits of these things, Yoga Namaskar and the arm movements that were taught as part of this program, right? Because your body is prepared to understand these things immediately. And then the Nadi Shodhan, right? It's a beautiful pranayam. I used to do it before also. I'm a singer. I'm learning classical music. So sinusitis is a big hurdle in my life, in the sadhana of music. Music along with yoga, they're two very good cousins, right? They kind of, if you can just take to them, they just you're so happy doing them all through the day. All I can say, right? You're fortunate. So just like the resistance that you get in certain postures, the resistance for me in music is my sinus. But if you don't have something that is stopping you from achieving your goals, there won't be much fun in that path too, right? So, but Nadi Shodhan and meditation that I learned from Isha Yoga, which of course I've been practicing previously, but they are part of this beautiful sequence that you start with some basic warm-up postures, Yoga Namaskar that generate heat, and then you're cooling it down with this pranayama and then meditation. They definitely are helping me in fighting my sinusitis. In this week that I undertook this particular program, I could see immense benefits. Earlier, I used to kind of do pranayama maybe twice a week, something like that, right? And meditation, okay, we'll do someday, right? That kind of thing. But since this is a sequence that is given, right, you'll make sure that you'll follow it daily. Even if it's 2-3 minutes of pranayama or 5 minutes of meditation, you make sure that, okay, you're not just concentrating on the active yoga postures, right? You also do this. The same thing has been told to me in my Iyengar school too, that you need to do meditation daily, you need to do this. But now that since I just undertook this sequence, this nice sequence, and I'm able to follow that, and then within a week I could see that there is some control over my sinusitis and maybe my thyroid too. Then after Nadi Shodhana, I would say meditation, it's beautiful. Here is where I want to focus a bit more. So meditation, we hear Sadhguru's voice. When we are inhaling, we have to think that we are not this body. When we are exhaling, we need to think we are not this mind. And our voice is telling us from behind that this is the truth. Right? There are different philosophies. I follow my own philosophy, but the basic starting point of everything is saying, you are not this body, you are not this mind. And these are the things that are affecting you, identifying yourself in this body and the mind. If you don't identify yourself as much as possible, if you have this thought, maybe you won't react to things and aggravate yourself and get yourself out of that peaceful state that you experience during yoga, right? So this beautiful thing, I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, is what we do. And that perhaps gives you a sense of equilibrium and detachment. Sometimes I also think of this beautiful quote. It's not my quote, the quote by Sadhguru. Many a times when I'm affected by external factors, I remember this quote. Even during the meditation, I remember this. He beautifully says, why are you allowing something that is external to you affect you? Why are you slave to that? Why are you affecting your happy state of mind by someone, something that is external to you, that is obviously not behaving the way you want it to behave? So can you just remove that craving? Because what is it for that you are wanting it to be, right? Because there is some benefit to your body, some benefit to your happiness, or something to your mind. Your mind wants it, right? But if your body and mind are going to fall, leave you one day, you're not there, then why? So that is the thought that I'm trying to practice when I'm meditating. Just this thought. So you get some sense of detachment, and then you are happy throughout the day, thinking that, wow, at least I understood this thing, right? If not, I'm able to practice it. Then the sequence of Nirman, they introduced us to what is love. Now at one end you're talking about detachment, then your other end you're talking about love, right? So what is love, right? There are many definitions to it, but the truth is basically love is something that you experience within yourself, and then you reciprocate, right? It is basically what you give unconditionally to people because what you have experienced, what you obtained from nature or the universe, right? So they taught us this 5-minute namaskar process wherein you can go and thank anything. Just sit before something and emotionally, with full emotion, thank it. It could be a stone, it could be maybe this mobile phone which is helping me record, maybe this harmonium with which I play, maybe my voice which helps me sing well, right? But before this event started also, I always talk to the Almighty who is behind. You can see him there. He's not behind, he's everywhere. So I used to cry before him when I'm not well, when something I didn't want happen, when somebody whom I really loved left me, when people whom I really want to be nice with me perhaps cannot for whatever their reasons. I used to go and cry before him, full emotion, and feel relieved. Similarly, I used to thank him when something good happens. This is not my greatness, it is because of you. So this namaskar process, I do it before my God, no one else. My Acharya, my God. I thank them. When if something bad happens, something that I was not palatable, I express my emotions before them, but I thank them because my God will definitely get me out of that state. I have that confidence in Him. Because after all, this whole universe is His. He is my Father. He will take care of me, right? So the namaskar process, first of all, how it helps you is it makes you thankful to what you have received, what you are receiving every day, right? You are thankful. We are told that, thank God for in the morning for being alive, thank Him in the night for being alive and experiencing a nice day, right? So when we are healthy, when we are blessed with everything in life, we should do that. The thanking process, the namaskar process is same. So when you are thankful, you feel guilty for asking the Almighty things that you don't have. Maybe you should still work to your goals. It's not that you want to be away from things that you like. It's not about that, but you're thankful. You try to learn some contentment, and you feel guilty. Okay, if not today, why I'm trying to crave for things, why I'm getting agitated. I do have these good things. Thanks to you, namaskar. Thanks to you, God. You have given me these things. Thank you. Maybe I should not ask for more. See, today there is a cyclone. There is this COVID thing happening. A lot of people don't have food. there are migrant workers, and I am here privileged to talk about yoga, to its effects on my body, my mind, my improvements. Right? I'm able to talk all of this. So shouldn't I be thankful? I am not contributing anything to the society except the taxes that I am paying. So should I be shameful when I try to ask for more? I should be, right. I should be guilty. So with full emotion, sit before whatever you believe in, anything, and then thank it. Right? Best, thank the Almighty, right? And talk to Him. Talk to Him. Talk to Him. So I really identified with this namaskar process, which I try to experience daily. And then the Simha Kriya, as I said, towards the end, it's a beautiful thing to get rid of the toxins that cause and develop your immunity. So this program, yes, physically it's very good. It develops immunity and a good posture and alignment, and the back conditions with the yoga namaskar and a full stability. But the best part is the meditation that and then there is this beautiful Bhajagovinda Stotram that you can hear in Sadhguru's voice as a part of this event, which is telling you the basics of life, right? About how with satsang you develop a sense of detachment. With that, you then basically are relieved, right? Once you develop sense of detachment, and then it prays to God, "Oh Murari, try to keep me in this state, try to get me out of this," right? So I would thank Pushpangi once again for this beautiful opportunity, and I would definitely want to take some other future programs which are aimed at activity, because I'm a yoga edit, exercise edit. I'll definitely take those advanced courses and try to improve on them and try to learn more alignment. Thanks to Sadhguru for inculcating this. Among various schools are there now. I thank all those schools. I thank the school from whom I am learning, my BK Sankar school. I thank other schools. I thank Sadhguru, who has inspired me through his talks, and really thankful that that this kind of awareness is being brought about in people, and we are building a better nation with better people, right? Because of all of this, and of course I thank my Acharya, because of whom I am able to experience all of this, right? Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha, Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, and of course to that Murari, to my God, who is making all these things possible, because of whose love I am like this. And so I should think that I should spread this unconditionally to whatever extent possible. I should remind myself of all of these words whenever I get agitated, angry, and I'm down. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaskaram.